Regulation is about the cross-border portability of digital content in the European Union. Critical assessment of regulation. EU 2017-11-28. Juan.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to talk about the geographical blocking in the internet. That we have already a new regulation, which is 2017/1128, which able us to go to another country and we can watch TV, listen to music, even though we have no license in the new country we are going. 6 months ago, or it was it got into force in April, 1st of April. Before that, if you were traveling, we were traveling to another country, European country, and we have, for example, Spanish Netflix or whatever, this kind of music or videos, etc. If we were going to France or Italy, we couldn't watch these programs, and it was on our screen said content not available in this geographical area, even though we were paying for these programs. So nowadays, the current geographical blocking on access to and use of online content protected by copyright when the user is temporarily in a member state other than the residence of his residence is from 1st of April 2018, forms part of the project of the history of the European integration. Nowadays, with this regulation on portability on content, online content services in the internal market solves the problem of cross-border portability of digital content protected by copyright. Although the technical nature of this regulation using some of the precepts of articles may affect the scope and effectiveness of the regulations itself, as well as the right of the owner of the protected digital content, to the extent that some use of the mandatory exception created by the regulation may not exceed the rule of the three-step test. So nowadays there are no boundaries, no land boundaries in the European, but there are still some online boundaries. So this regulation what makes creates a mandatory copyright exception to be able to have access to this online content. But there are some, I think there are some problems, some articles of this regulation that makes makes difficult to apply this regulation. And some consideration of this regulation, 2017/1128, is that allows consumers to access and use portable online content, right? So first of all, we have to be consumers to be able to go to France for one day, for example, and to still watch, for example, the Spanish Liga or the Spanish Netflix in France. But the problem, so if we are not consumers, this is not allowed to us. There's another aspect that makes that Article 1, which narrows the scope, states that to ensure the subscribers to portable online content provided lawfully in their member state of residence can access to these services and use when they are temporarily in another member state. The problem is that the regulation that not defines what is temporarily, to be temporarily in another member state. So if I am one day in France, is that temporarily? I think so. If I am 1 week, is that to be temporarily abroad? It can be, right? I can go on holidays to France so I can watch my Spanish Netflix there. There is no problem. Is it 1 month temporarily? It can be. I mean, I'm a researcher, so I go to the Max Planck for 1 month and 3 months. Is it temporarily? I don't know. I was last year 5 months in Bologna. Was that temporarily? So there is no definition. So if there is a huge problem there, because copyright owners, they want to have 28 different licenses, right? This is a territorial scope. So the European Union is fragmented because of this copyright thing in 28. So copyright owners gives the license to, for example, Telefónica Spain, or to the Spanish service provider, but it's not given to another. So there's a problem there. There's also another problem, which is the it states it defines that un abonado, or someone who pays the royalty, says that it is in a is resident of a member state if it fulfills maximum 2 of a list of characters that states. It is said that member state determined on the basis of Article 5, which is the subscriber has effective stable residences and the presence of the subscriber during the limited period of time in another member state. So it says that, for example, in order to know if a subscriber is resident of a member state, provides a list of different verification mechanisms of the service provider, which is the national identity document, or, for example, a payment information, bank account, credit card, place of installation of the multimedia adapter, or decoder or similar device, blah, blah, blah. So there's another problem here. What happens if a German comes to Spain, he's got a house in Marbella in the south of Spain, he's got a flat, he comes here for 2 weeks, he's got a bank account in order to pay all the electricity and all these things. So according to the regulation, he is a Spanish resident because he just needs, for example, a bank account. What happens if this German buys the premium Bundesliga in Spain, which might be cheaper than in Germany, but he's here just for 2 weeks in August, and he goes back to his country. He can use this. He can watch the Spanish Bundesliga with whatever service provider, but he is in German. So there's a huge mistake here. Also, there is no definition at the regulation. So what I do believe is that the legislator he didn't say anything about that. So I think there is a unbalance or no balance rights between the service provider, the copyright owners, and the users. So I think that they should arrive to an entente cordiale between all of them in order to fix a maximum days outside the member states, and also because there is no copyright infringement, they should fix these days, but they should fix a number of days, because what happens if the service provider, the regulation also says you have to check where is located the subscriber, but what happens? The service provider is not going to check it. He just check it when he has the contract. Okay, he checks when he fulfills the contract with the consumer. But the regulation said he should check time to time. But the service provider is not going to check it, because if he checks that his subscriber is in Germany, he has to cut this access, and the service provider is not going to check it because he might lose his user. So there are different economic interests between everybody. So I think they should try to arrive to an entente cordiale to fix the different days in order to have more legal security. And that's all. Thank you.